The topic is, okay, let's start. Verbal and non-verbal communication, gestures and teaching, or gestures for teaching, gestures in teaching. Uh, well, Objectives. I hope that you will have a better understanding of the importance of body language in communication and teaching. Hopefully, you will identify common English gestures. Okay. Hopefully, okay. We have started already. And hopefully you will learn to teach English using gestures. The end of our workshop will be devoted to gestures for grammar, for teaching grammar. Well, considering oh, Radchenko, mhm. Well, you are okay. Uh, well, let's have another try. Considering anything, well, just starting considering anything at a lesson or facing a life problem, we can consider a problem in both ways, either top to down or bottom to up. From top to down, as if you look at from a plane down, you have a general look at the problem, and then you can deal or you can deal with the details, and then you can have a general picture of this problem. So when in class, teachers too often deal with the direction from bottom up. So I'm going to start from top to down. Um, hmm. I would like to start from a very general thing. I would like to start, as our topic is communication, nonverbal and verbal communication. I would like to start with the contents of learning a foreign language. Where is the place of this communication? And my idea is to present the content in the shape of, in the form of a house consisting of several things: basement, foundation, fundamentals; walls, four walls; the roof, the chimney. So my idea that the foundation in the contents of learning a foreign language looks like what? It looks like language, the fundamentals being grammar, lexis, and phonetics to some extent. Grammar, lexis, and phonetics. And the four walls where we live, where we function, where we have activities, they are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Um, um, Speech competences. Uh, there are four competences. Cross-culture competence can be the roof, because the roof helps us to avoid some culture shocks when cultures meet. Uh, so culture shocks might be inevitable. And what is the chimney for? A chimney is a minor thing. It might be for some study skills. No matter what you learn, what you teach, or what students learn, learners should have study skills for learning grammar, phonetics, pronunciation, for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In my table, I make it a point to my students that the only possible direction is from listening to speaking to reading and then to writing. From listening to speaking to reading to writing. You know why? Because if we consider a baby, a child, the first activity a child learns is listening, then speaking, then before school or after school, literacy, reading and writing. So when we learn grammar, vocabulary, so it's a good idea to practice listening, then saying, reading and writing, not vice versa. Okay. Um, when we consider teaching a foreign language and a mother tongue, we can notice that when teaching mother tongue, some elements in the content, they are curtailed, they are diminished, they are smaller, like listening skills, speaking skills, phonetics, etc. So some, okay, let's consider historically, diachronically, let's consider methodology diachronically, which elements dominated in teaching till the 1870s. Approximately which element dominated? Can, can you guess? Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm not sharing the screen. Yes, sorry.
Yes, we can't see your screen, unfortunately.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. It's foolish of me. I've been nervous and I just sorry. Remind me if necessary, please. Sorry, it's terrible. Okay, sorry. Top down, bottom up, house, activity. All those the contents. Okay, comparing with teacher, and okay. So sorry. Which elements dominated in teaching till the 1870s? Let's have a look at the house, at the contents. That should be what? Граматико-перекладний, лексико-перекладний. So that was language, grammar, and lexic. Oh, the last straw, остання соломинка. Solomina. Oh, hello. You are. No. We hope more students, but you turned out to be the last straw. Um, Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Miss, Ms. Solomina. Okay. All right. We've started considering nonverbal and verbal communication with a more general picture of the contents of teaching and learning a foreign language, and we just realized and recollected, revised, that till the sorry, I made a mistake. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So which element dominated till the 1870s? Sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry. It's just something. It's new. I've just 1870s. They were okay. 1870s. That's correct. That was language. That was language. Oh, yes. And then, no, I was right. It was 1917s. They were skills. Till 1917s, they were skills. Listening, speaking, reading, writing. Something dominated. Something was not important. But then, starting since the 1970s, the main focus is what? Communication. It's skills for communication. Uh, Actually, it is missing in our picture, and it's very often missing in your year plans, in uh, річні плани. Clear, so it's common. But in some good books or in some good plans, there might be a column for communication, for teaching communication. A greeting, expressing gratitude, expressing sorrow, saying no, rejecting an invitation or accepting an invitation, describing your house or whatever. Clear? So this function can be in like functional English. Verbal communication is the process of transmitting a verbal message from a sender, speaker, to a receiver, listener through a channel. For sending messages, the communicators use a code. So, language is this code, grammar, vocabulary, very obvious, and phonetics as well. Verbal communication involves speakers, or senders, and listeners or receivers. And between them is channel, and they use code. Here is a speaker, here is a listener. Okay. And human speech has several stages: reception, acoustic, psychological, physiological, linguistic, transmission. We have little time to consider all this, but the idea is to put them into order, which is okay. I'll try to help you. We have little time, and it is not the main focus of our workshop. Psychological, we have an idea. Physiological, so the signal goes to our mouth, to our organs of speech, and organs of speech move. Acoustic, the sound goes from the mouth to your somebody's, to the listener's ears. Reception, reception is done with ears. Transmission, the transmission from the ears to the brain. And linguistic interpretation. It's a bit enigmatic and not visible, because even the transmitted and received message can be interpreted differently. For example, I'm saying, oh, in the class, imagine we are in the classroom. It is 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm saying to my students, oh, it's getting dark. Mm, do you understand that? Everybody understand that it's getting dark, but how can they interpret my message? Somebody says, oh, okay, yes, it's getting dark, but others may say, oh, I'll switch on the light. Maybe it's difficult for you. Okay, do you understand? It can be very polite way of asking to switch on the light. Clear? Oh, or another thing. Could you give me a minute? Uh, of course, it's not like in a joke, give me a hug. Oh, where is my hug? No, no, no. Just give me a couple of minutes, give me a minute, and you don't know what to do to approach the person, to come up to the person for a minute, or to leave the room for a minute. It might be to leave the room for a minute. Could you give me a minute? So where is communication in planning? It's functional English. Usually in some good books, course books, there is a column functional English or whatever. A code. A code is a system of signals used for sending messages. And a sender encodes it, закодовує. The listener decodes it. The writer, again, encodes the messages in his book, and the reader decodes the messages that are in the book, or that are supposed to be in the book. The communicators use verbal code. It's a language. It's vocabulary, grammar, phonology. Non-verbal code: body language, touch, spatial behavior, gestures, eye contact, posture, appearance, artifacts. Quite a lot of things. You have a general idea what it is. Spatial behavior is the distance between people, between a speaker and a listener, between two speakers. Well, okay. And all this, oh, wait a second. And when language is used for verbal communication, we apply language skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, to put the language of language resources, grammar, vocabulary, into action, and to produce discourse. Okay. Okay. Imagine that we are communicating. Let's try to relax and imagine that you are communicating to somebody, listening and watching the speaker. And when listening to the speaker, you ask yourself a question: do I believe it? Do you believe it? Or don't you believe it? Do you like it? Or do I dislike it? Do I need it or I don't need it? what is my opinion as a speaker about this about that speaker is based on. Why do I think that about the message? Maybe I think about the message because I think it about the speaker. Do I ignore it? Why do I ignore it? What factors do you notice in communication? What things influence you? We as teachers believe that what we teach, okay, we teach, we say a rule, we are describing something, we are presenting some material, and we may believe that all the impression, all the influence is where? In words. Very often we think that, right? We rely on words. An unexperienced teacher does what? He grabs something, a dictionary or a textbook, and he reads. He reads the rule. Oh, what's wrong with me? This rule is correct. It was written by somebody from above. Clear. So what's wrong with my behavior like this? What elements are there? In that, imagine that 100% is all the influence that the speaker demonstrates, shows, or the receiver receives. So what are they? What we hear, okay, the words. Good words, bad words, adequate words, understandable words, not understandable words, pompous phrases, slang words, obscenities, I don't know what. So vocabulary sources are old. Let's think, different style, different shade of meaning, there might be confusion. Teacher pedagogue, which is a more pompous phrase, which is a better phrase, which is a high elevated, higher style, formal style word, do you believe? Is there something wrong with using pedagogue? Any idea?
Maybe professors sounds more academic, more for academic university.
Okay, your position is professor and pedagogue.
Yes.
But okay, I was wrong. I should have included
No,
professor.
you're not wrong.
Okay.
It's just my point, and you have another point.
Is there anything wrong with pedagogue? Is there anything wrong with the word pedagogue?
It's more used in Ukrainian, in Ukraine.
If we open up this dictionary, so you will read a definition that a pedagogue is a teacher who who is too proud of his knowledge, and the teacher who is too strict. Now, do you want to be a pedagogue in English understanding? Maybe not. Okay, clear. Difficult, challenging, which is a positive word. Please, anybody? Of course, yeah, no wonder, challenging, right? The only problem is challenging, yes?
More positive.
Yeah, of course. Instead of saying difficult, use the word positive, clear. If you are a subordinate, you are saying to a boss, oh, it's very difficult. If you are a boss, you're saying, it's not difficult, it's challenging, clear. Hall of residence, dorm, maybe hall of residence is more pompous. Cabbage money, kapusta. Okay, you understand. So kapusta is slang about money. Drink, booze. Well, British word, popular word, booze, to booze. Massage therapist, which is correct?
Massage therapist.
Massage therapist, not only because it's it's adequate, but there can be very unpleasant confusion because masseurs since the 1950s has another meaning of prostitute. So be careful with it. Okay, do you understand? Well, you may sound offensive, I'm so sorry for my examples, but that's a real story. The brother of my student had moved to the USA and had a problem. He was nearly expelled. He was nearly fired for using the word messieurs. Really? No, that's a true story. Uh, and he didn't realize why. And my student what had been informed about. When I told my student, she told her brother in America why he had been nearly expelled. He had been nearly dismissed. Okay, okay, dismissed would be correct. Silly, foolish, stupid, which doesn't sound so offensive.
Foolish, maybe.
Might be even silly. Oh, it's so silly of me, Clear. It's so silly of me. It's so silly of you. Foolish, maybe a little stronger. Stupid is more stupid. Okay. Do you understand? So we can be adequate or not very adequate in language resources, grammar resources. You are silly. Oh, now compare grammar. Offensive, respectful. You are silly. You are being silly, which is uh, which is not offensive. Not offensive. Neobrazlivo. You are silly. You are being silly.
You are being silly. It means that at that moment, right now, you are.
Clever, but you are being silly today. It's strange.
Yes.
It's not typical of you. You will have a meeting tomorrow, sir. You will be having a meeting tomorrow, sir. Simple, future continuous. If you were a secretary, which would be respectful? Respectful.
You will be having a meeting tomorrow, sir.
Tomorrow. Yes, of course. You are always smoking. You always smoke. Okay. Which is which is offensive or aggressive.
The first one, you're
Yeah.
always smoking.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Another thing is not what, but how. How it is said. Tone, loudness, low voice, low voice, higher voice, timbre, stress, etc. Okay, let's go. So we use phonetic resources. Oh, there's one more element, pausation. Pauses are important. I forget. So tone, loudness, timbre, stress, because speech starts with pauses. No, really, it's important. Pauses are more important than we think. Look, it was in Gorlovka, at Gorlovka Institute. I spent 3 years in Gorlovka, 2 years in Kiev. And there was one student who talked to me, and we were friends, and he had spent 6 years in America. It was new experience for me. Do you know what I was shocked with? I was not shocked with the tempo, with the speed of speech. I was not shocked with, not shocked with his grammar, with vocabulary, pausations, pausation. Idea. Chunk. Yeah, it was shocking. So mind pauses. Okay. Phonetic resources. Some simple things. Sorry. 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 Oh, what did you say? Oh, I'm sorry. That's it. That's it. What's the difference? The stress is in capital letters for stress. That's it. That's it. What does mean that's it? Ah, ось в чому справа. That's it. Ось воно. And that's it. Like it's over. Okay. Ось і все. I'm the manager here. I am the manager here. Я є той менеджер, якого ви шукаєте. And then a professional example. He is an English teacher. He is an English teacher. What's the difference? One of them is a teacher from England. Another is a teacher of English. Which is which? De Vidma. Which is which?
The first one is the teacher from England, and the second one is just the normal teacher of English language. So, to my opinion.
Uh, the stress word is usually for a dominant feature, is for main feature. And the main feature is he is a teacher of English. He's an English teacher. And so you can call yourself, you are English teachers, but you are Ukrainian teachers. You are Ukrainian teachers. You are English teachers. Well, as far as I know, an English teacher, and a teacher of English, and an English teacher, a teacher from England. English maybe has an additional characteristic, like he's a teacher, and by the way, he's from England. Okay, descending had, ascending had. Surprisingly, in authentic English phonetics, they do not teach heads. Heads are learned in the Soviet school. It's surprising, actually, in Iraqi books. Okay, but still, heads might be also important. Descending head and ascending head. Oh, like, look it up in the timetable. Oh, look it up in the timetable. Look it up in the timetable. I'm trying to imitate descending head. Подивись в розкладі. Just suggestion. Look it up in the timetable. Look it up in the timetable. Your anger is simmering in you, or is ready to burst out. And, maybe you've been asked that question the third time. Сама подивись в розклад. Do you understand? Okay, you see that when we use low-level head, it's very often for irony. It's also in Ukrainian. Ну ти допоміг мені. Well, sometimes. Thank you very much. Oh, you've been of great help. Oh, well, okay. Let's get to nonverbal code. So you see, resources are what we say, how we say, and what you do. Body language, nonverbal code, nonverbal communication. What are the parts? What does it consist of? What does it include? Body language in general, gestures. It's a kind of body language, gestures. Touch. You touch or you do not touch. How you touch. Clear. You pat or you do not pat. Okay, I mean pat. Well, then eye contact. Eye contact. Well, posture. Без осанки, да, и кінь корова. Okay, so posture. Then appearance. Of course, people say on YouTube that students learn better from beautiful ladies. I mean, males learn better from beautiful ladies. Okay, no. I've checked. It's a typical conception or misconception. Okay, so okay, appearance, clothes, makeup, adornments. Adornments like can be dark, can be glasses, can be shades. It has some meaning. When a Terminator wears, usually people do not wear shades, glasses, dark glasses inside. Only black people usually do it, and Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. Clear. So it means something. Do you understand? Adornment can be necklace or gold ring. Oh, I have none. Okay. Gold ring, silver ring, bracelets, love bracelets. Oh, it's an interesting topic. Love bracelets. Google them. They can be tattoo, no tattoo here. You see piercing, here, there. It has some meaning. Do you understand? Of course, Cossacks, that had a different meaning for earrings. Do you understand? You can discover it yourself. I'm sure you know much about it. So it was a symbol of something. Artifacts, other artifacts. Oh, for example, a nice artifact can close our ex-minister of in Ukraine for healthcare, ex-minister of healthcare in Ukraine, fired 2 years ago, fired 18 months ago. His coat cost, do you know how much? $25,000. $25,000. Okay, if you listen to his speech, do you believe him more or do you believe him less? What do you think?
Less.
Thank you for your gestures. Okay, you use body language. All right. So you see, there are quite a lot of things. Oh, and there is distance. Oh, is distance here? Spatial behavior. It's an interesting story. In different cultures, spatial behavior, distance between speakers can be different due to two reasons. Can you guess to what reasons? Two, culture, okay, and subordination, hierarchy. Okay, let's compare three cultures: Ukrainian culture, Latin American culture, and Western culture. So the closest distance, like elbow, will be in which culture? Is in which culture? Guess. Very close.
West?
Latin America.
No. Okay.
They are so sincere, frank. They're close. I'm quoting a book. And then wrist distance is Ukrainian, and fingertips distance is Western culture. Clear? Oh, believe me, I once I talked with a Peace Corps volunteer, and she complained from the bottom of her heart that while communicating with English teachers from Ukraine, so they come too close. She makes a step back and they make a step forward. She makes a step back and they make a step forward. So mine, if you notice that somebody is making a step back, so keep the distance, okay? Uh, well, it should be farther than mother. No, I'm joking. It should be farther than closer. Okay, clear. And uh, well, of course, mother are closer than fathers, but it's a disputable fact. So you see that quite a lot of things we wear, things. Okay, pens, pencils, portfolios, attache cases, uh, uh, you know, etc., etc. Okay. Well, how many percent of communications based on words? Any idea? Any idea?
40.
40,
Yes, 14 maybe.
40 or 14?
40.
40.
40. Okay. All right. Tone. You see, words 7%. In some studies, 11%. No, from 7 to 11. Okay. Tone, how we say, melodiously, pauses, loudness, 38%. Body language, 55%. It's surprising, isn't it? Yes, you want to say something,
I
Vladlena?
want to ask, yes,
Yeah.
I want to ask if in Italia these numbers are just the same like we have seen, because the Italian, they're using their hands and so on and so forth, so like the crazy people, so maybe
You mean
they have 99% of that body speech.
you mean that in some cultures the gestures are more important than in other cultures? Might be, but just the results are 7 to 11 or something. Uh, okay. Uh, so, well, we usually come to the conclusion that we underestimate what we do. So we are like directors. Верю or не верю. Do you understand? So you believe it or not. You do not believe it. You try to see the essence, the core reason. Like, okay. Uh, oh, and by the way, oh, sorry, I forgot to say about the distance in terms of the hierarchy. Hierarchy. Sorry, it was before it. Distance hierarchy. Uh, uh, if you are close friends, if you are friends from 40, 30, 40 centimeters to 1 meter 20 centimeters, if you are, it's Western, they are Western standards. If you are colleagues, 1 meter to 2 meters. If one is a boss and another is a subordinate, from 2 meters to 3 meters to over 3 meters. If you are making a public speech, from 4 meters 7 centimeters and 20 uh, uh, 7.2 meters. Okay, uh, so it's different. It's different. Well, I am some 350 kilometers from you, so I'm observing the distance to the audience. Okay, so approximately. No. Do you understand gestures of other people? Okay, in a way, not always.
When we're in Bulgaria, then no.
Okay, yes. Do gestures differ from culture to culture? Yes, in Bulgaria, yes, and other things. Uh-huh. Oh, by the way, white clothes, it's mourning in India, in China, and white clothes is something, a mm, a white dress of a bridegroom, of a bride, not of a bridegroom. Okay, so yes, colors have different meanings, gestures have different meanings. How often do you use gestures? When you are angry?
Always.
Very
Every
angry.
time.
Always. Always.
When you use your fingers, do you believe that people cannot count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, no, no. But we
It's
help.
for the
Yes, we do
expression.
that. Well, sometimes. Okay, but we can use fingers like noun, adjective, numeral, and pronoun. Do you understand? Like имя существительное, прилагательное, имя числительное, and местоимение. That's the way my mother used to show parts of speech. Clear. Some Baptist missionaries, pastors, they use fingers for many purposes. No, no, for many decent purposes. Okay, so when preaching, clear. Well, so they use it. We memorize what is one, what is two, what is three, or whatever. It helps. How often? Okay, don't you use gestures when you are angry?
We use because we don't know how to express anger using words. That's why emotions, our fingers, even now I'm showing you.
Okay, I see. All right. My granny, she was also a teacher, primary school teacher. She had that advice. Uh, okay. Uh, she had a gesture. She placed her thumb between the forefinger and the middle finger, and he placed it in her pocket while talking to a headmaster. If he was criticizing her, like trying to avoid the stress. Something like this is done by Americans who are saying things that they don't trust, they don't believe. Okay. Um, so they can be different. We are different in this respect. Are your gestures clear for others?
We hope
It's not
so.
always. Oh, no. Okay. You hope they are. Okay. Do you support your gestures with words? Yes. Oh, somebody said.
Sometimes.
Okay. Uh-huh. So we feel that words with gestures are more prominent or sound prominent, or they are more effective. Okay. Oh, let's consider some okay. We try to divide gestures into several parts. One, they're universal gestures or universal posture, universal things, more universal. And then there will be things more typical of a certain culture. And then there will be gestures for teaching. You understand? Very universal, then cultural, certain culture, and pedagogical. Uh, so, let's try to decide what gestures make a good impression. Feet. What to do with our feet? To stand still, to stand stationary, to stand still, or to move, to keep moving when you stand. Anywhere in the classroom. What do you think? Uh,
Maybe we need to change our posture from time to time, for example, so to go somewhere, or I don't know,
yeah.
but not too much. It would
Yes,
be
not
too
too
much.
much. Okay. Yes, that's right. Feet, should they be slightly apart? Is it correct? Feet are slightly apart and toes are pointed somewhere away. Or should toes be pointed not away but inside?
Straight.
Straight or slightly away. Do you understand? Slightly away, but not
Mm,
inside.
mm.
These are very minor things we sometimes ignore. Uh, this is called shuffling when we shuffle from foot to foot. Shuffle, 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 shuffle from foot to foot. Head up, down, what? Supported with a hand. Up, yeah, up or down or supported. Well, it shouldn't be supported, especially when speaking, yes, because it influences your speech. Clear. Okay. Eye contact. Should you look 30%, 100%, 80%? What are you for?
Eye contact, we must use it of so 100%. But I think we
100%.
need to change our
Yeah.
eye contact with the person. Not every time just to somebody's eyes, so one person, but we need to see the whole
Yes, to see
details
other.
inside the room.
Yes, yes, exactly. By the way, a typical problem of a teacher is to be focused on one student and or two students and to look at them. You should look around. It's a problem, you know. There should be, you should look at everyone, no, not just at one or two students. Um, well, eye contact might be 80% would be okay, clear. Uh, in different cultures, different. You know, like in African cultures, in Asian cultures, the subordinates were not supposed to look up, and the boss was supposed to be, the ruler was supposed to dominate and to look at them. That's why we have a lot of words to cast a glance, кинути погляд, to look, just подивитись, to stare, уставитись, to gaze, gaze, ну, дивитись з почуттям. Okay, so gaze. Uh, Shoulders are down or up. Should spine be straight or crooked? Okay, so of course the spine should be straight. Yes. Okay. For confidence, and shoulders quite down. You know, so you should feel comfortable. Of course, shrugging shoulders is for doubt. In Somerset Maughem's books, Somerset Maugham likes his characters to shrug their shoulders. You know, I don't know. He's crazy about his characters who shrug their shoulders. They always shrug their shoulders. Okay, decide what gestures make a good impression. Hands while sitting, hold in front of you, or in your lap, or at your sides, versus playing with hair. I can hardly do that. Fumble with the pocket, or whatever. So, what are you for? Okay, who has good hair? Okay. Okay, okay. No, no, no. That was not a prompt. Okay, thank you. Thank you for justification. All right. Okay. So, so which you prefer to farm? Oh, I see you prefer fumbling with your, playing with your hair. I see. Oh, oh, okay. So, so
It's
hair.
my problem. So the professors are speaking with me every time. So why are you touching your hair every time? And they are rather too long, and every time I just want to put it back. It's not convenient.
Well, okay. Dread tails wouldn't be a solution. No, no, no. Well, okay. Well, then, of course, in front on your lap or at your sides, but not usually playing, fumbling with the pocket, etc., etc. Uh, oh, that happened with me 20 years ago. I was with students of gymnasia in Uman, and I asked them about one American, young American, who was a lecturer at Agricultural University. He was a lecturer of economics. He was 25. Oh, well, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And and so he was in jeans, and he made a speech. He talked to the students aged 12, 13, and I asked the students, what do you think about him? I asked that after the meeting. And you know what they said? Um, he fumbles with his hands, he touches his jeans. They told me as the main characteristic that, I don't know, maybe his legs itched, maybe his legs itched or something. But the only thing that the students noticed, age 12, was that something itched him. They said nothing about his background, social background, language background. You know, itching was a terrible story. Well, hands while standing at the podium should be visible or not visible, or while talking with you. You know what?
50-50. 50-50.
Should be visible,
Ah,
and
visible.
that's why I adjusted my camera and I made it lower than usual. No,
Oh,
really, I made it lower. Yeah, that's people are paid money for all this. They pay crazy money. So they know. I mean, politicians, etc., etc. You can notice them that for the last 5 years, the TV speakers they learn to use hands more than before. Before you notice that. It's the result of research, I'm sure. Smile, a little smile, a faint smile, or big smile, broad smile. Okay, it should be adequate, right? Adequate. Oh, it's cheese, broad smile. Yeah. So, okay. Of course, we should smile more. If there is a problem, you can smile in response. Not just well. I'm. What is correct? I'm pushing energy up. If you push the energy up pumps up or pumps down. Oh, there is some. Okay, pumps up. Yeah. It's like the beginning of a song by Dimash. So, so his gesture, the beginning, very, very impressive, very impressive. In this beautiful song, Olympico. Olympico, the first gesture, and it starts. And by the way, Dimash, he's very specific in gestures, and he never repeats the same gestures in different songs. The gestures are surprisingly unique and matching him and matching the song. And he's from Kazakhstan. Uh, um, okay, you are pushing energy down. Students, calm down. Silence. Clear. I'm angry. I'm making a barrier. You are chopping up. So with these movements, you are showing you're angry and you are chopping up. You are not making pop chops, but you are just showing that you are chopping up, that you are angry. I'm confident while sitting, keeping feet firmly painted to the floor apart. So your feet are firmly planted to the floor apart. A bit apart, but so I'm confident. I'm willing to listen to you. Should you cross your arms or you shouldn't? You shouldn't. Okay. Uh, well, and of course, not like this when speaking, especially. Well, do you use gestures in class? Yeah, I see. Do you use for classroom management? Oh, no, 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 it's too strong. No, not that gesture. No. Okay. Uh, that might be the gesture at the class farewell party, at the very, just before leaving. Okay. What are, okay, you use that, yes? Okay. Oh, okay. What others gestures? Yes. No. What is this gesture for? Of course, maybe with primary pupils, take out your books. maybe, maybe not that high. Okay. Open up. Okay. Open up your books. Things like that. If pupils don't know the word right, you can write. Uh, this is not very polite. Shut up. No, no, it's not polite. Clear. Well, yes. Okay. It's for attention.
It
Uh-huh.
was for a question. So you have told that it's not polite
Maybe not polite, but people interpret it differently. But sometimes I want to show it when I want to say the people speak up.
this, yeah, okay.
But
I
uh-huh,
want to tell something different. So this gesture, yeah,
uh-huh, uh-huh,
in Germany, the teachers shows when they want that students must be silent.
you mean this? Okay.
Leise Fuchs,
Uh-huh,
leise Fuchs. So
uh-huh.
it's
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
silent fox,
they are foxes. Yeah.
silent fox. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Silent fox. Okay. Not Simon Says, but Simon is
No, no.
silent. Simon is silent.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I see that. Okay. Thank you. Uh, Uh-huh. What are the benefits of using gestures?
Well, when I have some kind of situations when I have words in my mind, but I can't express it using words and language. That's why with my fingers, with my body language, I express what I mean, what I want to say, what I want to tell people.
Uh-huh. Okay. Are your gestures for nouns, for adjectives, or for adverbs?
Uh, well, I'm a very emotional person. That's why I use very, very often.
Classify. You do not classify the words. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It does matter. Okay. Yeah. I see. I see. All right. Well, gestures in teaching. Let me show you a video. You see the screen. Um, just let me know if you don't watch it.
Language Notes. Topic 6. Hand Gestures. Part 1. and an angry parent saying, "You must behave. First me, and then
Okay,
pinky." We can use our index finger to point to things. However, it's generally not polite to point at people. I could say you and use one finger, but an alternative is to use the whole hand. A teacher might say, "First me, and then you. My turn, your turn." So we can also use the whole hand to gesture to ourselves, or we could use one finger. Again, compare a teacher saying you and an angry parent saying, "You must behave." Do you see the difference? Let me show you more gestures. I'll show the gesture, see if you know the meaning, and then I'll explain. Here, there, come here, or come on. If I go faster, then I'm showing a sense of urgency. If this is "come here" with my whole hand, what's this? I'm also saying "come here," but I usually use that one finger when I'm inviting someone to come closer to receive some kind of surprise, good or bad. Come here. Also, be careful. If you want to show that sense of urgency, there's a roll of the wrist. It's different from going back and forth.
Well, it's for ladies.
Two hands. What does that mean? I'm so hot. Okay. Here are some more everyday gestures. That's the thumbs up sign. So that's the thumbs down. I will not use obscene gestures, and is not offensive in the US. In the US, this is the OK sign. Also a sign of approval. They'll say high five. They're showing you their palm. They're raising it up in the air. What are they doing? They want you to respond with a high five, all five fingers. Usually that's a sign of congratulations. Could be a greeting, but usually a sign of congratulations. The next group of shh, or silence. Shh. How about this one? My lips are sealed. Is this one? Heart and hope to die. I promise I won't tell anyone. Heart is this one. Cross my heart and hope to die. I promise I won't tell anyone. I promise. So crossing your heart and lifting your hand, showing your palm for a pledge, means you're promising. If you cross fingers and place them behind your back, children usually do this because there's a superstition that says then it's okay to tell a lie, right? So someone could say, "I promise I'm telling the truth." Really, I'm telling the truth. So crossed fingers behind the back means what you're saying is not really true. You know it's not true, but because you've crossed your fingers, you think it's okay. Last one. The V sign could be used for peace or for victory.
Okay.
This is the end of part one.
Okay. And one more, just 1 minute. There will be just pictures. Some gestures will be repeated, but there will be more. Unfortunately, there are just pictures, not a person showing it. Let me see where it is. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. No, it's not that. Oh, excuse me. Uh, mhm. Okay. No, 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 no. Mm. Okay. No, no, surprisingly, it's not here, but okay. Strange. No, it's okay. We can do without these ones. Surprisingly, this video I saw it yesterday, but it has disappeared. I wonder what has happened to it. Okay, and mm, some gestures. Um, uh, Given here, come here, I am hot. I would like to adopt some more gestures, like no. It is maybe, well, I don't usually use that, but it was in that video. Um, well, that's quite important. I would say yes, no, no, yes, no with the finger. That's interesting. Well, sometimes there can be some thumbs down, two thumbs, or that one, or perfect, perfect with one, or perfect with two. But you should be careful because this symbol, as this woman said, is not offensive in the USA, but it is offensive in Latin America. Well, and now, okay. Oh, yes, we try that to take out your books, open up your books, you mime, you mime that, you show what you want to do. Okay, let's get close to grammar. Do we use, have you ever seen teachers using gestures for teaching grammar? And for what tenses? Well, from my experience, how I was taught to use gestures for present continuous. Like you give a command, write, I'm writing, open, I'm opening it, close it, I'm closing it. You are miming in this case, you are miming, and you show what you adapt to the base form or to the imperative. Like close, I am closing, or I am closing, even pronouncing in louder. Okay, miming can be used for, or should be used for present perfect, because we can see the action. uh, oh, close the book. Oh, I have closed it. Open, I have opened it. Close it, I have closed it. By the way, only 20 years ago, no, I mean that I have been teaching for a longer time, but only 20 years ago, it occurred to me that the phrase in present perfect, the door, I have closed the door, it sounds very much like in Ukrainian, я маю двері закритими. So you see, the idea is the same. Я маю закритими двері. Я маю двері закритими. Тобто вони закриті до сих пір. Even if you add up with even word by word translation, I believe it helps with present perfect continuous. Present perfect, sorry. Present perfect continuous oh, uh, might be exclusive. Oh, I have been running. Uh, no, I will not show you. I have been drinking. No, no, no. Okay, so it's a challenge for acting. Do you understand? And it's not appropriate for a classroom situation. Or a present perfect inclusive. Oh, oh, I have been running for. Do you understand? Like indicating the time, clear. Or I have been swimming. Look, my watch. Okay, is waterproof. I have been swimming for an hour. Clear. Of course, for other tenses, gestures are not good. Past simple. You can hardly mime it. because you are supposed to do it, to have done it, or have been doing it. Let's consider it, but let's try to look at gestures, not like miming, not for miming, but indicate the function, the idea, the symbol of gesture. Oh, this is the final slide, and I would mind the questionnaire. So you will get the questionnaire, and please try to. It is in the form of a Word document, because there are some points with not just choosing the answer, but prioritizing, віддавати пріоритет. So it implies one for the most and seven for the worst. Do you understand? So prioritizing. That's why it is in Word format. Okay, so so I'm closing it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm closing it. Oh, is it? Okay. Well, so what is left is teaching for gestures for grammar. Actually, it's some gestures. Of course, they are quite universal, and I'm sure you use elements of that. Let's start with the things that you usually do. That what you usually do to explain for explaining grammar. But I make it a point to differentiate single and plural. Sorry, I usually when I have 5 seconds and I need to check grammar within 3-4 seconds. It's a challenging thing. I usually suggest such a foolish question from the first year or from the second year. Що це? Книги. Ну, коли я чую what is it? Books? Of course, it's wrong. What are they? You understand? Що це has four equivalents. What is it? What is this? What are they? What are these? Do you understand? And actually, it's що це. Що то has two equivalents. What's that? And what are those, or what are they? Do you understand? What are they? What are the? Okay, what are those? What are those? What is that? Clear? So that's why I'm using two arms to show the difference. Clear? But actually, the mistakes with what is it? Books. It's so common. You can check your pupils yourselves. Do you understand? By the way, there is a nuance. In some Ukrainian textbooks, they give an example like, what is this? This is a book. It's not quite correct. What is this? It is a book. Not in the answer. What is this? It is a book. Not what is this? This is a book. There's no need to repeat this. The distance is clear. It's here. It's here. Okay, of course you can use here and there. In roundup grammar, you see that picture. This is, that is. You understand? Okay. Okay. Or these are, those are, like, two fingers, one finger. Okay. So you understand that. What is it? What is this? Sometimes I change the and intonation. What is it? What is this? Changing intonation and changing a bit the emphasis. What is it? What is this? What is this? Or what is this? Clear? What are they? What are those? What are they? What are those? So using what is it? What is this? What is that? What are they? What are these? What are those? What are those boys? Who are those boys? I've never seen them at my lessons. Clear? Oh, sorry. It's not about you. Well, and what comes next? Of course, we use, you use, I'm sure, the word I. Well, I am, like I am Robinson Crusoe, you are Friday. Do you understand? No, no, no. Uh, uh, no, of course, changing. Of course, humor is another technique, that we can use when the lesson is going to be over. Clear? Okay. So I am somebody. You are somebody. Clear? But you can go further. You can say we are, or you can say he is, but make sure you look aside and you point at a student, his student, male student. Oh, she is, look, pointing at a girl student. No, no, if it's necessary, just to, I don't mean all the time, but just showing clear, he is, she is, looking aside, because you are showing to the person who is not involved in communication. You talk to the person, but he is like not a participant of communication. She is not a participant of communication. Okay. There are. Oh, a pain in the buttocks. Yes. Okay. So there are. It's a problem. Uh, so it is for what? For not for indicating, but for showing what things exist. And there is there is a book on my table. There are books on my table. There is a book on my table. There are books on my table. Clear? So this gesture would indicate you are not, well, you're not indicating at the object. There is something. Well, oh, as a. Of course, we learn as a, but we can. By the way, these gestures are for teaching, I believe, and also for for feedback, for correcting mistakes. Sometimes when a student makes a mistake, it's okay to show the element which is wrong. Okay, uh, uh, there, or there, there, showing, or if it's possible, maybe that's not, but you can do it without interrupting a lesson. Then degree of comparison is perfect. He is taller, he is much taller, he is, you can look at that, he is taller than you, or it is bigger than that one. You can show with your eyes which way you're looking. Oh, this is bigger than this one. It is bigger than this one. Also, looking at the object can help. It is much bigger. By the way, much bigger is a typical mistake. And it is the biggest of all. Okay, of all, it is the biggest of all in the class. It might be understandable, I believe. Of course, this is a long process. It doesn't mean that you teach all gestures in one day. It's within five years. You teach this and that and that and that. Well, we're not going to teach in 10 minutes. No, no. Oh, numerals. I thought about numerals. Of course, we can say 1, 2, 3. It's understandable. But I believe that the hand can be fixed. 1, 2, 3. Oh, by the way, you know that English people usually, it's not 1 in Russian, 2 in Russian, 3 in Russian, but 1, 2, 3 in English. Do you know? There's a different manner of showing fingers. Okay. So you can. Oh, by the way, you can. It's a quiz for you. It's a riddle. Can you guess why there are 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute? There are some 60 things in our body. Well, don't say that there are 60 hairs on my head. No, 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 no. It's the wrong answer. But I'm expecting your answer in 3 minutes. Okay. So tenses. Expressing tenses, I think it's important to show the timeline. Like at the blackboard, timeline: past, Timeline, past, present, future. Do you understand? You can stand at your blackboard showing the timeline, T, time. And then the gestures will be similar, but future will be ahead of you, present should be here, and past should be behind you. Well, well, what to use for simple? For simple, I use this because it's not this, but this, indicating numerous actions like I go to school, I will go to school, I went to school. Very often pupils make mistakes. They say, "Oh, I went to school tomorrow." No, it's quite typical. No, they do it. Maybe your students are perfect. I indicate past. Do you understand? Not tomorrow or so. But it's quite common when students confuse either yesterday, tomorrow, or whatever. So I go, I will go, I went. Present continuous, I try to show the progression with I'm going, I will be going, I was going. Like the same gesture, but ahead of you, here, or behind you. Present perfect. I don't know. Maybe an idea of perfect can come from completed action. It's perfect. Maybe, okay, just to make it different. Perfect, 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 perfect. You are perfect. So I have done it. I will have done it. I had done it, but past perfect is rare, so I will not have to do this exercise too often. I will have done it. I have done it. I will have done it. I had done it. I have done it. I will have done it. Just to help it. I mean that it's additional thing. I'm not going to avoid describing it, but I can prompt that it's not present perfect. It's not present simple. It's present perfect, clear, or just correcting the mistake without interrupting students. Okay, I thought about conditional sentences. Maybe you can do nothing, but maybe when time comes for if, I can say, oh, if for this idea, like indicating a specific subject of the lesson. Might be some you may agree with some gestures, you may not agree, but still, if you teach that if you use them more than once, more than 10 times, it will be suitable for you. Maybe you will change it, or you will get rid of them. It's up to you. Oh, if so, under some condition. And sequence of tenses. We are we are finishing with sequence of tenses. What's the idea of sequence of tenses? That it's a vision from the past. Okay, so let me explaining it. Make a step back, and okay, I make a step back, and I say that future is simple. Okay, understand? Like we do it well. We do not use sequence of tenses all the time. Unless we are very cultured people and civilized people, unless we write much. Okay, so these are the things I wanted to tell you, and a questionnaire is one thing from you, and another thing is what uh, your the riddle about 60 things in your body. 10 fingers, 10 toes.
One head, two arms, two. I don't know. What fingers?
Oh, there are actually three parts. Yeah, knuckles, clear. So actually, roughly speaking, there are 60 things. 1, 2, 3. Well, hopefully, I will not have to count everything. 20 fingers. Okay, 10 fingers, 10 toes, but each has some joints. Clear. Maybe Okay, and desperate ancestors of ours were, maybe that gave them the idea about the number of minutes and about of seconds. Okay, thank you for the time we have shared. Only two students have disappeared. Well, that's a good score. Okay, thank you very much. Please, you will get the file later on today. And please, it would be great if you could review it. Well, any comments, please? I'm so sorry. I've heard about Vladlena Shevtsova from my colleagues. Uh, Rumors, spread fast. Um a room. Okay, no, I'm joking. No, I mean that you were very active. Okay, thank you. So I'm so sorry I didn't give you a chance to speak. Maybe I heard that maybe being 10 kilometers from the frontier, you experience different emotions. Well, we are with you. Well, good luck to you. Okay, good luck to you. Goodbye.
Thank
Goodbye.
you
Thank you
very
very
much.
much, Philip.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.